What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 243 of Opinions May Vary. I'm your host, JR. I have my co-host with me, Alex.
Hello!
Hey.
Hey.
Joining us this week in studio, can you believe it? For the first time in... I don't even know.
It's his very first show. He's never been on
He's
before.
never been on.
He's never, ever, not
He's
once
only
been
the
on
record
Opinions
holder.
May
Is
Vary.
this a microphone? Oh, man.
It's Brett Kelley.
You got your headphones on backwards.
Hello.
Brett,
Oh,
since you've never done this before.
Brett.
sorry, I put it around my neck.
Never having Brett on again.
I thought it'd look cool.
We will never have Brett
How many
on.
appearances is this for Brett?
This one last. I don't even know.
He's definitely broke 30.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
we're coming up on the 40s yet?
I don't know. I don't think 40s yet. I would probably my gut instinct is to say that I'm in the mid 30s.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
We'll get there. When Brett breaks 100 episodes...
I hope it's.
I wonder what that's gonna. It's like the. You guys watch the John Oliver on the pyramid schemes?
Yes.
The double black diamond status,
Yep.
which is a ski slope.
so much confetti. It's just kind of
But
fly out
yeah,
everywhere.
we'll get confetti cannons for
Oh,
Brett's
sweet.
100th appearance,
Oh, good.
which is it's gonna happen
It's,
eventually
next week,
if we
really,
go,
I think.
if we go long enough.
I was trying to think of what we'd put in the confetti cannons. I want to say like old Brett sketches.
Snickers and Brett sketches.
Brett, yeah.
Those are my
Brett.
two favorite things.
Brett.
Bretches.
Bretches.
Brett
yeah.
sketches. Anyways, Brett's in studio
Hey!
this week. It feels like a long time. It's probably not even, hasn't even been that long. But
We said it was like 30 episodes.
It's like something like that.
that's a lot.
Yeah, but it's been.
I can't believe that.
I don't
I
mind.
refuse to accept that.
Hey, I don't mind. You guys have having some really good guests on. I've been enjoying the shows.
Your last one was, I think Jerry's looking up now. It was either promoting a Kickstarter
I think it might
or
be,
reviewing Steampunk World's Fair.
Looks like it's World's Fair.
I'm almost positive that it's
It's from World's
Steampunk
Fair.
World's
It was
Fair.
218.
Cool.
Is what it looks like.
And we're at 234 now. 243.
243.
243. Yeah.
We're at 2 for 3.
2 4 3 4
I don't
3
know
4 2.
So
And
much
I don't know
nonsense,
math
you
anymore.
guys.
Yeah.
So Brett's back.
25 episodes.
I'm back.
25.
25.
52.
Yep.
Oh, it's almost half a year.
Carry the 4.
Almost half a year. We could have stretched this another week.
Okay, it's fine.
So like I said,
Yes.
not the last time, but the time before that, we had Brett on. We wanted to talk about your Kickstarter.
Yes, and you kind of retched it out of me. I was not very
It's
still squeamish and like shy about it.
the timing's been a tough thing.
Mm-hmm.
So like either we sometimes when we're trying to book guests for the episodes and we're just like, well, this week's open, this is what we're gonna do. And at one point you had said like, yeah, I think I'm ready to go live. And I was like, all right, you're booked in 2 weeks. And then you were like, I'm gonna go live next week. And
Yeah.
like, we're still doing the episode.
Yep. That's
But-
valid.
But I wonder if anyone's guessed what we're back for, because
I start my tour as a
Your
harmonica player.
distribution tour.
Yeah.
how does a harmonica fit over your beard?
Don't worry about it.
It's it's like I have an attachment
It's
that
actually
like, stuck
in
right
the beard
Yeah,
I
right
can't
now.
see it right now.
Exactly. I just have to fold it right up and
Play it at any moment.
Yep.
No, Brett's coloring book, The Tales of Clockwork Shoplift, is finished.
Yes.
It's been printed,
Mm-hmm.
and it's ready for distribution.
It's a physical thing
I got
that is currently, right now, let's see, hold on.
Yep.
It's in my, I smacked the mic with it. It's in my hands.
You could
Are we the first
Flipping
people?
through it.
Are we the first people to hold it?
like
the real copies?
other than me, you guys
Was
are
Colin the number one?
technically because he was the closest when I removed it, and yeah, so he got his hands on his copies first because he ordered the double copy.
I hate Colin.
The double. Yeah.
Well, I hate you too because I'm number
But it's a
3.
real thing now.
Yeah.
Because-
After much dramatic pause and lovely mad science and magic of sorts, yeah, it was a lot. Like it was great though. Like I just got them printed back from the printers yesterday, and yeah, I'm really proud with how they came out. 55 pages, 80-pound weight paper. Yeah, there's
There have been multiple times where I thought I had 2 pages, and I'm like, give me the page in between them. But no, it's one sheet.
Yeah, I didn't want none of that like newsprint garbage. I wanted to make sure that they could take a lot of damage. I mean, right now they are prominently best used with color pencils. Color pencils.
It's like the medium that a lot of people have been going with the coloring books.
I was kind of a whiner about it before. I was like, no, I want to make it so you can put anything on there. You know, and I lost Joe already. Darn it! I'm sorry, Joe. I'm so sorry, Joe.
Yeah, your nerd voice.
I don't know if we've talked about this on air.
Yep.
Our good friend Joe, who's also one of our reserve co-hosts.
Yes.
He will turn the episode off if I turn to my generic geek voice.
Can you blame him?
I can't. I'm not going to do it.
I know.
I'm not going to do it.
No.
Joe, you can keep listening.
Yeah, because I didn't go full. Like it was like a half minute. You're a magnificent person, Joe. Please keep listening. But no,
I apologize to all the other listeners who hate when I do geek voice too.
Yeah, I like doing geek voice too, but I won't do it. Yeah, but for the sake of the book, like it was a really great. It was a lot of back and forth. So long story short, back to the marker thing. That there were a lot of stuff that I wanted to do with the book, but kind of crash coursing myself through the printing process, I started realizing a lot of things, especially working with the printer, where I was like, I want gold leafing on everything, and they're like, well, you can't do that because X, Y, and Z, and I'm like, oh, man, and you know, so
hey man, Daniel Govar puts gold leaf on his pictures now.
He does. And
why
it looks
can't I do it with books?
Because that's 55 pages worth, and then the cost gets really, really out of whack. I tried. I looked into it. There's a lot of research done. But no, so that being said, color pencil, definitely the way to go with these. 55 pages, all original content. There is actually a story that kind of connects it all together, because I do consider like taking like a tour of this city, which is Clockwork Tropolis. It's a city a couple hundred years old in my own alternative steampunk universe. And I really enjoy it. Every single character and kind of place has a name and a history behind it, which I'll be kind of producing more content and kind of trickling that out as things go forward. But yeah, so 78 people backed the book, which is fantastic. I think that actually added up to almost 100 copies of the book were sold through the Kickstarter alone. I do have a very small number of copies left over that I'll be kind of bringing with me to live events over the next year as well. And then, yeah, so I have a bunch of original artwork
Get
too.
them while you can.
Yeah, I will say that the one thing is that once when everything kind of started getting kicked into high gear, I've been getting a lot of inquiries and people being like, hey, set me aside a book. I'm like, okay, well, yeah, hopefully you'll have one.
There was a Kickstarter where you could have been guaranteed one.
I mean, it's one of those things too where a lot of the people, there are still, even though we kind of take it for granted the fact that we've lived with Kickstarter for so long, we back so many projects that we forget that there are people that don't know that Kickstarter is a thing or that it exists. Yeah. So a lot of people are just like, oh,
they should be listening to our show.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I give them your card and then and then they walk away and then and yeah.
Brett is he's a champion of pimping this show, and we are in great, like he even in the latest update for Tales of Clockwork Tropolis announcing that it was printed and distribution has begun. Yes. He even pimped the show with a link and everything.
Heck yeah. I try and throw little Easter eggs around in every single thing that I do, including a Dungeons and Dragons rap that I did with me and my friends.
Yeah. Yep.
That was fun.
Okay. I'm going to take one of the things you said.
Sure.
And I'm going to hold on to it for a second.
Okay.
Because I'm going to come back to it.
You go right ahead, man.
When you had said, like, there's some other copies that you've had printed up that exceeded the order amount that were for the Kickstarter.
Yes.
And you're like, oh, I'll bring those to some future events.
Mm-hmm.
One of the reasons we're here today is for one of those events.
Yep.
I'm going to apologize.
What?
I'm not sure. I don't know if you mentioned it yet, because I was so focused. It was the first time I opened up the book and was looking at everything.
I was kind of hoping to get...
And I kind of tuned out.
Awesome. Yes.
Alex was intentionally not opening
Tales
his
of Clockwork
book.
Tropolis will tune you out. All right.
So I know Brett was saying words, but I don't know what he was saying.
It's okay. No, I did not make any specific name droppage or announcement of things yet. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Okay. Let's do that now.
Okay.
Because that's going to fall into my statement.
Sure.
You can find Brett and Brett's artwork
mm-hmm.
and your copies of Clockworktropolis.
I will have 10 copies of Tales of Clockworktropolis on me at this specific event that we have not said the name of yet, but we will be shortly.
This will be at Comics and More in Easthampton.
Yes. In the flesh.
Because one of the neat things about like the Easthampton area is that they have like some cool like town events. Because it's a very like hip town that isn't self-aware yet.
Yeah.
Because nearby is Northampton, and Northampton's very self-aware. And they understand that they're the cool town and they have the cool stuff going on. And Easthampton is too, but they're not like they haven't learned to exploit it yet.
I mean, I would say that I can't say anything that's not going to get me in trouble at this point. I do love both towns equally. I lived in Northampton. I've lived in Northampton the last 2 years. Their art community is amazing. I do find myself being more drawn to Easthampton's arts community for various reasons, and I've name dropped the Easthampton, the ECA, Easthampton community. My brain's flatlining on.
We've got you in a lot. You're in a lot of places right now.
Yeah, Easthampton Arts Council. They're a great organization. They run a really tight ship. They have wonderful events that I've been proud to have been a part of over the last couple years. My first art shows have been in Easthampton. Since I moved here 2 years ago, because of the various local places. If you frequent the show, I don't need to regale you. I don't need to repeat all the stuff I've said before. You know where I've shown my work. But Comics and More has actually been a great place for me this year. I got to do an art show there earlier this year in February, and that was funny. I think I came on and talked about it then too.
Probably.
But Easthampton is great. I always like to say that Northampton, there's so much cool stuff happening in Northampton that some of it spills out into Easthampton, and Easthampton and Northampton have now become what I would say sister cities of artistic wonder
endeavors,
and glory. And it's wonderful because they both run their events differently. They run different types of events, and each one kind of suits the town's needs more suitably. Suits again. They're wearing suits. They play cards, and okay, I ran that joke into the ground. But no, it's So because of that, I find myself always going to Easthampton a lot, just as much as I go to Northampton for different reasons. Because a lot of the I just really like both those towns for various reasons, for different reasons. So where are we going with this? Art.
So the art walk is that weekend too.
Yes, Easthampton Arts Night Out.
Okay.
Art walk actually is the correct term. I'm sorry.
And so I've been to one in the past. I know I purposely went to the one that was in Northampton because Adam Aerosmith had some art in a tattoo shop that was upstairs in Northampton.
Living.
I don't remember which one it was.
Okay.
I definitely know that I went because like the town's making a big deal of like come hang out and look at all the art.
Sure.
And I went. There was one in the town hall that's there, or like whatever that big stone building is on the corner. Anyway,
yes, right.
There's a lot of cool stuff to go see, and so this is another chance to go walk around, see cool stuff happening. Last year, did Krista's thing have a dance going on, or was that something else?
No, Eclipse Dance Company did a Dia de Muerta, a Day of the Dead dance. That took place in the cemetery. It started at the cemetery and then worked all its way up through like the main street in Easthampton. And that was really fun.
So it's one of those. There's a lot of things going on. It's a really good fun time.
Yes.
And Comics and More has this neat thing where like you go in through the doors, then you go downstairs to get into the shop because the main shop is downstairs.
Yep.
But before you go down, there's like an upstairs area, and they could have just plastered it with like a bunch of posters they get from distributors or companies. It's like, it's if you've been to a bunch of comic shops, everyone has seen the sun-bleached, faded comic book poster.
Right.
It's either Spider-Man or Cable or something from Image, and like all the colors washed out of it, and like now it's gotten brittle and it could fall apart at any minute, and like the tape is loose on one corner, so it's falling down. They could have done that. They could have put up a bunch of lame posters, but they chose to feature real artists and put people in there like it's a gallery. And so it's another reason it's something else to see. You're going to go buy art. You're going to go buy your comic books and look at people's pictures and what they've made with their hands.
Yep.
But while you're doing it, you can also see these other things that people have made.
And not to just to kind of extrapolate on this, because I feel like it's something that, especially like if you're hearing about this, the Comics and More event is definitely in conjunction with the Easthampton Art Walk, which means it's an all-day affair. And if you go into any of the participating stores, shops, boutiques, any other places that are in around the Easthampton area, Eastworks specifically, there are tons of galleries, there are tons of spaces that are having events all throughout the day, and it's kind of one of the things where you can it's a full day event, so you can definitely take your family or just walk around, and every single participating event will have a map. There have flags out that says, yes, this is part of Easthampton Art Walk. Ooh. Come on in, check out what we have. And everyone else has local artists. There's a lot of galleries that will bring in fine artists that have really great oil paintings and of stuff, boats, and they're very impressively done. And then you'll also have events where it's like, hey, we're gonna come over to Eastworks. We're gonna have a chili cook-off, and then you go in, have a couple bowls of chili in the cold, and come in from the cold if it's in February, as it was this past year. And it's just a great time. That's kind of just I wanted to make sure that because this show, actually I should give the name of the show, Brett Kelley Presents Triple Threat, which we can kind of shed light on later, but Comics and More does participate in that. So if you want to come up and see my show, know that you can, you don't just have to come in, look around and see the artwork on the walls and be like, all right, cool, I'm gonna go back home. No, there's a whole bunch more stuff that you can see too. And you can also check out the really cool stuff at Comics and More, because they're probably one of my favorite. It's my go-to comic book shop now, and even before they were helpful enough to put my artwork up. And in the off season, when they don't have artists, they do have posters up, but they change those out routinely. They have a really awesome display cases with old school figures. Like they have the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle blimp that they used to came out with way back in the day. That's in one of the cases too. A bunch of other really awesome stuff. So, it's a great event. Every art walk I try to be a part of in some small way, and it's always a joy. And Christian and Phoebe, the guys who the couple who run the shop, and Dana, who also works there, all great people, very talented people. Caring, definitely hardcore people. Like they're the people you can walk in and you can talk to them about anything. Like they're the guys that you can have those conversations. Be like, hey, what's new coming up from Image? And then we'll just have a nice conversation about that. Or like, what'd you think of this? And so good. I really very personable staff and personable place. That's my pitch on that.
So the thing I wanted to hold on to earlier, you're going to sell out there. All your books are going to be sold there.
Oh, I hope so.
Oh, they'll be gone.
Actually, there's even a specialty event just in case that because my job, Chart Pack, we do make a whole bunch of art supplies. I managed to I got to give a shout out to them because they were because I got my hands on a couple 12-pack of Kohinoor Hardmouth woodless color pencils, and so that means I'll have 10 copies. And if you get the first 5 people to get a copy, we'll get a complimentary 12-pack of those color pencils that I just talked about. So that should be very exciting, and they're great. I don't want to go into my sales pitch because I've been selling them at comic book conventions all the last month and a half or so in New York Comic Con and Boston Comic Con and Providence, Rhode Island. I've been all over there, but they're great. They're a high level pigmented color pencils. They're really high quality. I love them. They are woodless, so that means they're just fantastic. They are coated in wax, but you can pretty much use them almost like a charcoal stick. They're awesome, and I mean it's not to give like a crude sales pitch on them, but they're fantastic. Yeah, and rant on that one and scene.
I'm not going to do my sales pitch. I just do the whole sales pitch. Yeah,
exactly. I'm not going to give you the whole sales pitch, but listen to this. But yeah, so that's going to be a fun thing there. And on top of Tales of actually when I announced the art show initially, it is called Triple Threat because at the time I wasn't sure if the book was going to be readily printed because there was a lot of I was still going through the second proofs and I wanted to make sure that it was perfect because unrealistically high standards. But on the plus side, so what I did instead is that I did a triple threat. So if you go to the show, you'll be able to see works from 3 different bodies of work. I will have about 8 or so original pages from the book that you can see, and they'll be on a really nice frame and a backing. A lot of little written literature about Clockworktropolis, about the city's history. A couple other things, a couple of the written works that didn't quite make it in the book will be there, so that way you can read those. So that's like the major facets. Now that I have the books, that's kind of like the core thing. However, the other body of work is Inktober Remembered. And that's pretty much during the month of October when I have the time. I will draw. I will ink something. Make a new ink drawing for every day of the month of October.
Inktober isn't a new thing. Like if you haven't heard about it, you look it up. You'll find tons of links on it.
Yes.
And if you hashtag it, it's like a ton of stuff is going to come up. You can almost look it up by day. Because each year, sometimes there's a list. Sometimes people just do what they want. Sometimes people go by, a recommend list.
Allow me to engage in nerd mode without the voice, though. What it is that they have Jake Parker, who's an artist and illustrator. He's the person who founded Inktober as a concept back in 2009, and I actually got to see him at New York Comic Con this year, and that was a lot of fun. I got to shake his hand and give him a high five. Awesome. I mean, he's a really personable guy, really talented. He has some really great videos on YouTube that are just long form. He'll work on an illustration while talking about he'll talk about like really, really important things that illustrators and artists should be thinking about if they're trying to kind of next level themselves. Where they talk about one of the things that he talks about is about like if you're an artist, you don't necessarily need a project, you need a product, or how to convert the thing you're working on into something that can then be consumed by other people. And that's a great way to push yourself forward as an artist or as a creative person in general, industrialize yourself a little bit. And just reading those things was just really awesome and enlightening to me. So I kind of fanboyed out pretty hardcore when I saw him, and I was like, hey man, I just wanted to let you know. And it drove me nuts because when I was throughout New York Comic Con, I would ask people, I'd be like, hey, you do Inktober? And they're like, oh yeah. I'm like, you do know Jake Parker's here? And they go, who? And I go, the
internet.
Yeah, and then I would tell them pretty much everything I just said, and then they would go out and track him down. So yeah, so Inktober is and as you rightly described, Jake Parker has his own list of prompt words that you can use if you want, or you can just do your own thing, draw something every day whenever you get the chance. There are other artists that I like to support that are in the area. Stacy Fay this year produced the list that I really liked that I went with, and she's an artist out in Eastern Massachusetts. Really, really great ink artist. She does a lot of watercolor type of stuff. Very pretty, like nice style, soft style, really cool. She had a really great list, and I kind of used that, which and I'll add her Stacy Fay Art. I'll have her Instagram handle up like on the wall. But I did my own. I kind of plucked my favorite ones that I did this season, and those are going to be hanging up, and it'll have originals, and then some will be for prints, and all that'll be for sale.
I remember last year those were pretty popular.
Yeah, there were like 1 or 2 that I did. That
I was kind of jealous because I think Trish bought one that I wanted.
Yeah?
Yeah.
The 2 most popular ones that I have sold actually as perks for Tales of Clockworktropolis. There's the skeleton playing the violin.
Yeah.
That one I sold to a backer, and then the other one is the wizard punk like female that had like a magic scythe stuff. That piece that was very popular as well. That one also sold as a perk, and those are both framed. Those will be getting shipped out in the next week or 2. But yeah, and then the third bit is a sneak peek into a next body of work that I want to get ready for 2017, and that's Putrefiction. And it's a series of illustrations and paintings that are a little more spooky, scary, a little bit more pushing myself to do a little bit more mixed media and a little more abstract stuff. You might see some images that, like the King in Yellow, I consider to be part of that series, and I have a couple other ones. And then obviously, the Plague Professor or the Plague Doctor one that you saw from February. That one I consider part of it. And there are a bunch of other ones that are really a lot more skulls, a lot more gothic, a lot more pagan related type of stuff. So Yeah, so that's the 3. So it's almost like the past, present, future. So yeah, Inktober's from the past. Clockwork Chopless is now. Future is future fiction. Yep. So you can see all that. It's going to be like 30 to 40 different original pieces of work. So a lot to see.
I don't know if you've thought of it yet, or if you don't want to say, you don't have to. But if there's a greater demand for the coloring book, are you just going to print up more copies?
Yeah, I'd like to do a second printing if it is necessary, for sure.
I wasn't sure if you were if you were solid on this is the run, and if you didn't get it for Kickstarter, that's pretty much it, or if you're open to just.
I'm open to it.
Supplying what the demand is.
I kind of want to be stodgy and see if I really need that. I hope I do, kind of, but at the same time, I since I put so much work into it, I would hate to just kind of let it. Yeah. I definitely want to. If I were to do it, I would definitely put it up as I would modify it slightly and make it a second printing edition. So that way there is a big difference between the first and the second print. I don't know why. I'm a sucker for having to make.
I'm with Brett on that one. I'm a big fan of. I'm a big fan of segregating backers.
Well, no.
Well, you got. I guess segregating was the wrong word, but the Exploding Kittens boxes. How ours say first edition.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well,
yours says regular Exploding Kittens edition. I can't remember what the non-Kickstarter versions say. I can't. But
Muggle, whatever.
Yeah, like the equivalent. It's mine says first edition. So.
But for me, I wouldn't even do it. I mean, it would depend on what the logistics were behind it. But if I thought there was a demand, I don't even think I would go to Kickstarter again to raise for it. I would just drop for like a 50 copy run, 50 copy run type of deal. Just because I feel like that would be a lot less complicated. But yeah,
usually for books they just don't say first edition.
Right.
It's blank, and then it says second edition.
You know the best way to tell?
Yeah.
In a book?
How?
Because sometimes it won't say first edition.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
If you look in a book, if you go to the copyright page, if you see the numbers 10 through 1, it's first edition.
Huh.
Where would that be?
On the copyright page.
Nice.
Huh.
You'll see...
So I'm used to looking at graphic novels.
Right.
Because...
A little bit different.
Because when I buy the DC Universe for Prince of Harley Quinn, because I have a couple of them, there's been 3 printings of it.
Yep.
Well, a 4th now, because since New 52, they have the new logo, so they have a printing with the new logo. But they had 3 printings, and so either it doesn't say it, or it says second printing, or it says third printing, but it won't say first printing.
Yeah.
Which I liken to people who try to have an event and they call it the first annual.
Yeah.
It's like you get a little ahead of yourself there.
Yeah.
Are you absolutely positive this is going to be a yearly thing and have it for continued years? Jared's fiercely looking around for a book.
A book, not a graphic novel. I can't find any.
Yeah. So I feel like I'm glad I officially spilled the beans. Sorry I went long form on that one, but that's the show in and of itself. But there's going to be more stuff too. There'll be prints. I'll be taking commissions and stuff like that too. Yeah, and then also kind of if you're new to comics or if you haven't gone, I actually am going to be providing a list of comic books that Brett's pull list, which you can check out. So that way, if there's comic books that you want to read or you think that you want to read, I have a list so people who might want to find something to read, they can go down in Comics More and scope it out. So yeah, it should be fun. I'm very much looking forward to it.
And it says you're also taking commissions.
Yep.
You can get some Bretches, some Brett sketches.
Yep.
In case you couldn't have made it to a Comic-Con that Brett was at, where he's been drawing, you can go to this place.
It was very weird for me being this year because I went to a lot of Comic-Cons, but I wasn't in I wasn't art mercenary mode. I was representing my company mode. Yeah, so that was a little strange.
It was we all went to Boston and New York.
Yeah.
But we didn't necessarily go together. We saw you, and hey, there's Brett, and we chatted.
I cracked this joke earlier, and I love it. Where I was I literally was your NPC for you'd see me oh yeah, no, it's Brett, Brett the shopkeeper. He's everywhere.
The local insmith.
Want to see my wares?
Where?
Yeah,
my wares.
My wares.
Where's?
There's. So Comics and More in Easthampton. It's a neat little shop. I like it a lot. I bought because when I went to your art gallery earlier this year,
Yeah.
very early this
It
year.
was in
I remember it was
February.
cold.
Yeah.
It was cold.
It was the winter. Yeah, it was the winter.
Deliciously
winter edition.
cold.
I know which page I'm calling first, by the way.
You're calling for. Oh.
That's my dilemma: is am I going to color it?
Oh.
But
okay.
Oh, I'm
it's a
definitely-
coloring book.
Yeah.
So I'm going to.
I better not mess it up. Is the problem.
Exactly.
I'm curious if I can guess.
Oh, I'm sure you know.
Okay. Yeah. Furious. Yeah.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
So I went to your art show in
My favorite.
February,
Yes.
and I looked at some art, and I talked with some friends, and I looked at some more of your art.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, I'm spoiled in the fact that I have the benefit of seeing your art pretty much whenever I want to. You know.
Say, Brett, what are you making?
Yeah. Send me a picture. What are you doing right now?
Yeah, and sometimes you don't even need to ask.
Have
I'll
you done
just
that?
send it. I'll just send it. Like, I don't think you guys really need to, because like if I'm working on something and I'm stressing out about it, I'll send it to you guys. Be like, dude, what did you think? This looks okay.
And I posted about it like on our personal page a while ago, and oh, that's because Jared had said something. But I was like, usually our litmus test is if Brett sends me a picture and I start swearing, he knows he did a good job.
No.
Yeah.
Yep.
I actually,
God damn it.
yeah, Joe, to do a callback, the actually was my recent exercising of that, because he had backed at a tier that for getting a commission done.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, "Hey Joe, I just finished your commission. You want to see it, or you want to wait for me to go?" He goes, "Dude, you have no not to put words in his mouth, but he's like, "No, I want to see it." And I sent it to him, and then he perfect. I was like, perfect.
So there's
So
some
you got sworn at?
Oh yeah.
Is that what you're getting at?
Yep, exactly. I was like, oh, is he gonna curse? Oh yeah,
Nice.
it is a good one too.
triumph.
It's a classic. It's a classic swear. And
Someday,
I was like, all right.
I'm gonna throw some shekels at Brett, because there's clearly a page in the book
Uh-huh.
that is meant for a potential sketch,
Yeah.
like this one right here,
Oh yeah.
Is it- or is-
Yeah, that's part of it.
right?
Yeah, one of the
It's
backings.
like a blank page with like a border on it,
Yep.
which
Yeah,
to the untrained eye would just seem like like a cover page.
Oh, it's a blank page.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like a buffer, like there's an odd number of pages or something.
Yep.
But to my eye, I go, I'm gonna get Brett to draw on that.
Heck yeah.
It's like a sketch cover.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But of course, I need to exchange currency for that because I didn't back at that tier. So,
Sorry.
Mm.
Yeah.
any,
Alright. I know a guy. I'll hook you up.
I have no problem giving Brett money, giving Brett
Oh.
my dollars for art. I
Wow.
have
Thank you.
the most beautiful. This is just turning into a jerk Brett.
I'm
off
gonna.
episode.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Actually, I'm gonna bring my coloring book to Ivan Rice,
Oh.
and I'm gonna have Ivan Rice draw.
Can you
draw on
can
the
you
first
color
page.
in this?
What?
Yo, I'm gonna bring it to Taylor Wells. Be like, can you do your magic on this?
All right.
Color this. Speaking of which, Rob Guillory just posted a big commission list.
Someone shared the sketch prices.
Yeah.
Is that where you
And-
saw it? Or did you
well,
get-
yeah, Charlie tagged me in it. And I was like, I missed this, and I kind of wish I still missed it because now I'm thinking about dropping some shekels.
Just get the cover.
And then I made the mistake of, while you guys were just talking just then, I was on Rob Guillory's website.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
He has lowered his prices on his original art.
Really?
Mm.
Like, there are pages that, like, with, yep, gonna make some bad decisions soon. Anyways,
That's the sound.
Brett
of
Art at Easthampton, Comics and More.
Yep.
Great little shop. I picked up, last time we were there, I picked up Amazing Screw-On Head.
Nice. Good call, man.
Well, yeah, I got a lot of compliments from the staff, and they were like, yes, this is a fantastic
So
book.
you got the hardcover, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
But you had already watched the
I watched the movie.
the pilot or whatever.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. Did you tell him like I've already seen this?
No, I was like,
Okay.
a friend of mine really recommended it to me, because like the first time I ever heard of Screw-On Head was your chat with Ransom Getty. And I was like,
Really?
Yeah, I'd never heard of Screw-On Head before.
Okay.
Wow.
I think you may have like told me about it, but like it's
Yeah.
just one of those like, okay, whatever.
I think me and John might have joked about it too.
Yeah. But then you and Ransom talked about it for a while, and you bought the little sketchy that he did,
He was doing like small squares. Of,
Yep.
of
like
us,
like
and-
4x4.
Yeah. And I was flipping through, and I was like, that's usually like when I gasp, I go, whoop, and Jar like knows something happened. So, and he starts paying attention. Like what I'm doing is like, Alex is going to start wheeling and dealing.
Yep.
And I was like, how much for this? And he's like, for that? And like Ransom Getty, he was kind of surprised. Like someone wants that and knows what it is. I'm like, hell yeah,
It's Screw-On Head.
gimme.
Yeah. It's amazing.
And then Alex made me watch it, and then
That was the right thing to do.
I snagged the hardcover,
Mhm.
which is it's shorter than I thought. It was kind of a bummer.
Mhm.
I was like, I wanted that to be. I wanted more of that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
but it's still like, and you read it in the like Paul Giamatti and the guy from Frasier.
Yep. And Patton Oswalt.
Yes.
Yep. Mr. Zombie.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
But that was a great book. I can't remember. I picked up something else while I was there too. I picked up another hardcover, but it's escaping me. But it's a great little shop.
It's not their first location
Mm-hmm.
because I had gone to Comics and More a while before that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how long I've been going. It used to be in a spot in Northampton, like kind of connected to this little room off of a 7-Eleven.
Yep.
And it was terribly cold in there. It was often more cold inside than it was outside. And I would go there to play HeroClix, and not to like make terrible comparisons, but like Modern Myths is right around the corner. It's like kind of up the street around the corner, and every comic book fan who's like been to multiple stores, in their head they have like a ranking of like, well, I like this store for this, and I like that store for that. It's not always like one store is head and shoulders above the other, but it's like you can appreciate certain things about each store.
Yeah.
So like the store we have here in town, if you're claustrophobic, you don't want to go into. But maybe you like being closed in on all sides by a product that can't go any further deeper into the store because it's already filled up.
Maybe you're riddled with ADD like me, and I'm just like, I'm going to look at everything. Yep.
Then you say, "Can I buy this?" And he goes, "No." Jared's shaking his head. But the previous location for Comics and More was one of those really cramped locations.
Yeah.
It was kind of small. It was kind of cramped. Stuff was stacked everywhere. If you've been to like a couple shops, you know what I'm talking about. You've seen it happen. And nothing like turned me off of it. We always had room to play HeroClix, which is amazing because we take up so much table space. And you could get to the new comics and new issues. The graphic novels and the trade paperbacks were in a good location. But like usually you had to like ask the staff if they could dig through the back issues because they're behind the counter somewhere.
Yeah.
And usually they'd find it for you. But the staff has always been amazing for me at Comics and More. I've always been really happy.
Yeah.
There's some other stores where it's like, oh, it's really clean inside, and I can really tell when they vacuum. But like the staff is kind of jerks sometimes, and that happens. But they've got their new location. They're not in this room next to 7-Eleven. They've got their own spot. It's spacious. I don't know what I'm allowed to go to because there's like so many rooms down the hallway.
Yeah.
And I was like, can I go in there and look at back issues? Or is that like a back room that I'm not supposed to do? Is that employees? I don't know. I haven't like been brave enough to make that venture yet and be like, can I go in here? Because it's a ways away from like the main storefront.
I like to call
most of the product.
I like to call it the Comicombs. Like not catacombs, but Comicombs.
I like that's good. That's really good.
I'm gonna steal that.
Go for it.
That's mine now.
TM.
But like they still have HeroClix events there. If you're there, it's usually on a Sunday or it's like every other Sunday.
Yep.
So if you see that happening, go ahead and check it out and be like, hey, what's this? And if you get the right people, they'll encourage you to check it out.
Yeah.
And because you get to play like a dice game with your favorite comic characters. Or the characters you don't like, but it's what you have. Or you want to make a challenging team. I used to play a lot of HeroClix.
Yeah. But I enjoyed it. Like, yeah.
Because like everyone has, like when you go in, no comic shop, no two comic shops are the same.
Yes.
I mean, unless you're counting like a Newberry Comics.
I was going to say Newberry.
I don't know if I count that as like
it doesn't count,
I'm talking comic shop, independently owned. Like this is a comic shop. I got the space that I could afford, and I'm going to make every use of every inch of this space with product.
Yep.
Is your typical comic shop. And it's just going into a new comic shop for the first time. Like when you find one, or like if you're traveling and it's like, yo, a comic shop, you have to go in.
Heck yeah.
You absolutely have to go in. And it, for the most part, it's probably going to have a lot of the same stuff.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh, there's the current issues. I already got my comics this week, so I don't really need to go through those. But like, I wonder what they have for Becky. I wonder what they have for trades. You know, some comic shops don't really do too many omnibus books, where other shops, like, they'll have shelves of them that they'll refuse to sell to you.
Have I told you about Comics Cave?
I don't know.
Well, I went to do makeup for the web series down in Reading, Connecticut. And somewhere around Reading, I passed by this town or wherever this location was, but I don't remember if it was Cave Comics or Comics Cave. I feel like Comics Cave was correct. And I made 2 trips there inside when I was doing the filming. And it was like your regular store. There was like one room that they would do like gaming in, like Warhammer or something, but then there was the rest of the room, and they had the comics and like the racks set up. But like the ceiling was really high. It was a really high ceiling. So from about like 6 or 7 feet up to 10 feet was nothing but convention sketches of Batman.
Wow.
Because like they go to shows, they get someone to do a Batman for them, and then they put it on the wall. So that's what took up the space on the wall. And I was looking, and I was like, I don't see any prices. Like, I'll put my glasses on. And it's like, are any of those for sale? Like, I can tell that is a Tim Sale Batman. It's like, maybe I... But I never asked. I kind of wanted to, but I didn't want to seem like...
Right. To
be like that guy who's like, well, how much is that? Well, how much is that? How much is... And just be that person.
Yeah.
And then, like, when they tell me a price, I didn't want to, like, choke or sneer. I can't afford that.
like, okay.
Thanks, tell me.
What do you want in a comic shop? What
Ooh.
makes a comic shop for you?
So, Comics and More does this thing where their brand new issues go on one wall, or
Okay.
like one rack.
Yep.
And so every new issue goes right there. There's nothing else around it. Every new issue is right there, and it's only new issues. And like kind of like spaced around it, or like behind them are the past issues, or they're already in the boxes. So when we go to our local store, there's a huge wall of comics, the entire wall of comics, and he has to move new tags that said new this week, back in stock.
Right.
Yeah.
And so that's how you know it's new, because the tag says it's new. Otherwise, the wall
Somewhat alphabetical.
otherwise the wall doesn't change.
Yep.
And so you kind of spend some time looking at everything. Now, this is going to help draw your eye to everything that's out there. Maybe you missed something last week, or a book got moved, and what's behind it is now revealed to you to see it last week, so that's something new you could buy. But now it's making you look at all the product. But maybe I just want to see what's new.
Right.
I just want to... Is Conan out?
Which Comics and More does.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, that segues into how, like, I was gonna say, like, how, because this, I mean, it's your favorite shop, but like, I don't know how you guys tend to do your shopping. I don't know if you guys are straight pull listers or.
No, I'm a browser.
Yeah,
I have a list, but I also look.
Yep.
I'm the worst. Like, not the worst, but yeah, I'll go in. I'll just, and like, I call them my randos, because that's literally what it is. I'm like, oh, I didn't see this. Like, what the heck is this? Like, oh, Renato.
What's Empress? I don't know. Let's buy it.
Yeah, what's Renato Jones 1%? Like, that's amazing. You know,
Black Monday Murders.
Headlopper?
Yes.
Headlopper.
Heck yeah. Dude, I'm actually, yeah, we never got to talk about that, did we? Not in any specific terms.
We need to talk about.
Heck yeah.
Apparently, Rumble's in double digits now.
Yeah, right?
I had no idea.
When did that happen?
I had no idea.
Man.
I thought I was up to date on Rumble, but
Yep. It's like, they just snuck it right in. Right in. It's like, oh, man. It's so good, though.
Andrew McLean from Headlopper,
Yeah.
one of the, like, super cool guy.
Awesome.
He was in New York.
Yep.
So cool. Got like, it was rad. He drew I think it was a Statue of Liberty this morning, like in his style.
Huh.
And it was just amazing. Dude, just go read Headlopper, because he started issue 5 the other day.
Dude,
I know.
yes.
I know.
That's great.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Anyways, comics.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I'd be able to narrow it down to like one specific thing that I would like best.
Right. Like, do you like a vast selection of trades? Or is that I can get those at a bookstore?
No. It's
Statues? A mix of everything.
Collectibles. of
Organization or eclectic?
I definitely like things organized.
certain types.
Sports memorabilia?
No.
Yeah,
no sports.
I don't need
no
that.
records.
Whoa,
Not-
well, you know, maybe some records.
Not at a comic store. In like,
Video games.
No.
I'm okay
Huh?
with that. I like
I'll
video
go to a
games.
video game store, but not at my comic store.
Right. Okay. Makes sense. Don't
'Cause,
cross the
like-
streams.
Fair.
I would almost want to make this another episode.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, we rabbit hole this one.
Where are we right now?
We are at 44 minutes.
Okay.
Whew.
I'm debating on like if we want
Oh.
to cross over into the other thing. Oh, that's really good.
Isn't that good? Yeah.
That's really nice.
It's Andrew McLean's Statue of Liberty. It's Andrew McLean on Instagram. It's just his name, Andrew McLean.
Kind of wanted to be like Lady Liberty, but like in the headlopper style. Just be like, just with like a whole bunch of like just
Oversized.
killing a dragon or like killing some mythical beast or something.
Lobbing some
He did
heads.
Bosk, by the way.
I did see
You
that.
see his Bosk?
What?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's
Now I'm just showing Andrew McLean on Instagram.
if you guys can't see it, but it's really good.
We also referenced Headlopper back when we had Israel Skeleton on.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
that
he's doing
I
a
guess that was
figure.
2 months ago.
Yep.
Yeah.
I should have asked him about it when I was talking to him. When I was talking to him in no,
I brought it up at Boston.
talking to Andrew McLean at New York.
Oh, yeah, you should have.
I was too
Starstruck.
Hey, can you sign my books? I brought all 4 issues and they're still in bags. So if you could just
Just give me a minute.
give me a second.
Just take my bit.
I panicked.
And then the tape sticks to the cover and you freak out.
Yep, a little bit. And I cursed myself. I was like, God damn it! Why do I have to tape bags this way? So I like shredded the tape on every one of them.
Because you taped them wrong.
I taped them correctly, but I mean, when you do things the right way, it comes with a price.
You tape them up and down, not side to side.
But
But-
I learned that lesson the hard way.
on issue,
I fought hard against that.
I think on issue 1 or 2,
Mm-hmm.
because I got all 4 issues signed.
Yeah.
And his I don't know if they're married. I don't know if it was a wife or girlfriend, but his partner
Mm-hmm.
commented on how she's like, "Oh, you have issue 1." And I was like, "Fuck yeah, I have issue 1." I think that's what got me into it.
That's where you start, right?
Apparently, it's hard to find, but and like I got them all signed, and I was at home, and I was like looking through them, showing them to my wife, and I was like, "Look at this, look at this." And I got to issue 1, and there was no signature on the cover. I was like, "What the fuck? Did I forget?
Did you skip this one?
Did I
Did he not sign?
like? I know I gave it to him, but like, did we get caught up? Because I was talking to him, I was distracting him.
Mm-hmm.
He signed it on the inside.
And drew a little head sketch.
Yeah,
right?
and drew a little
Nice.
little tiny
That's
head
nice.
thing.
That was nice.
And then
Yeah.
I bought the trade, which has like it's beautiful, but it is sold out. I don't think you can get it anymore, unless your local comic shop has it. Anyways, we can talk about Andrew McLean for a while now.
I'm okay with it.
Comic shops.
Yeah. We're bouncing around.
I mean, that's how I found Headlopper. That's how we got on this.
Just
was
browsing.
like just
Yeah.
because like if you just stick to your pull file, like if I just stuck to my pull list, I'd be reading like pretty much nothing. I would have just given up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I mean, I as of right, like because of I haven't even bought comics in 2 weeks. I didn't buy comics today.
Yep.
I think a new Walking Dead came out last week. Like Walking Dead's pretty good right now.
Yeah.
A lot of shit going down.
I think if there's any comic book shop owners, unfortunately, I am that person that's just like, I'm going to show up on Tuesday and be like, hey, what's going on? I mean, I'm not, and I don't do it on purpose. It's just because my schedule is that wonky.
Yeah, yeah.
But I just walk in and it's like, oh, right, you guys are setting up for tomorrow. Get my pull list. It's like, yeah, you got your stuff today, but you can't get the stuff for tomorrow yet. I'm like, no, it's fine.
Fair.
I'm not
just
here
being
for
a nerd.
tomorrow's
Yeah.
stuff.
Exactly. That gives me a reason to come back later.
So people who aren't familiar, I'm sure we have listeners that like listen because we talk about so much stuff. I'm sure the people that don't like know comics. So for the longest time, New Comics Day is Wednesday. Wednesday's
Yep.
New Comics Day.
Yes.
And it used to be that stores would get their shipment Wednesday morning or sometime on Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
But some would get them a little late, or if they didn't have the check for the COD, they can't accept the delivery.
Yep.
And what started happening was that they started a new thing where they'd get them shipped on Tuesday, and they would receive them on Tuesday. But they can't put them out until Wednesday because Wednesday's New Day. And also a thing with like between shipping and also a rule for any other stores because sometimes it's like an extra fee to get them on Tuesday.
Yes.
And now some of the comics from the bigger companies also have digital downloads, and there's a code in the book so you can download the issue as well. And so some stores will do a thing where like I'll sell it say on Tuesday, but don't use a download code because you'll get caught, and then I'll get caught, and they'll take away my Tuesday deliveries, and that'll suck. Because you get all Tuesday night to put them on the shelf and check your inventory and make sure everything's there.
Yep.
See, I showed up on a Monday like last month sometime, and the guy was like, "We were in last week," and I go, "I don't know." October was a busy month, and there was a lot of stuff going on. And he's like, "Did you get your stuff?" And I was like, "I'm not sure. I just You just check
my name. Yep. Check my name.
Take a look. See, you're gonna put up new stuff tomorrow, but who knows?
Yep.
And yeah, sometimes you can wait like 2 or 3 weeks or so until you get your run. But
my pull list is barren right now because like everything I read, and I don't know what happens to you guys a lot, but that happens to me almost every time I've ever had a pull list where I'll be like, oh, I have like these 3 good strong titles or 3 or 4 strong titles, and all of a sudden I'll come in for like a month and be like, no, this one's on bad. This one's on.
They end.
Yeah, this one's on sabbatical. This series ended.
There's only a 6-issue run.
Yep, or this one went on sabbatical for some reason. These people are waiting for another thing before they pick up on another run. I'm just like, so I have nothing. Okay.
Every series of Runaways.
Yep.
I was a fan of Runaways.
I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting for Providence to finish up. Like, and I've gone on and on about Providence. Like, it's Alan Moore's kind of love letter to H.P. Lovecraft's work. It's like I think it was made to commemorate the 125th birthday, which was last year. But I think they're on like issue 10. There are only like 2 more left, I think, unless I mess that up. No, there's got to be 2 more left. But I get like not anxiety, but I keep getting me like, where is it? There's like still not coming in because art is good, takes time. Same thing with Invincible. Invincible's like, they're priming for their run. They're kind of sitting, which makes me also just kind of be like, I want it.
I feel like the Dave Chappelle, like the crack addicts.
I got to
get into more than issues.
The joke that I think only Alex will understand, where I'm like, when Lady Mechanica is your only regular comic book that you can be like, yep, I know I'm going to get it. That's saying something. Because I always like to. I mean, I got to give him credit. Like, you know what? It was a real rocky start for Benitez. Like, I know when we was Crack the Wise, but he's been doing like these really small like story arcs and like 2-3 issues a piece and stuff like that, and they're coming out on a regular basis, way more regular than I was expecting. So I got to give him credit. Lady Mechanica.
What? I don't understand.
I know, right?
There's been more issues?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, at least like 3 different arcs. I mean, they've been.
I'm confused.
They've been small, like maybe 2-3 story arcs, 2 or 3 issue arcs, but still there. He's doing a whole deal.
He's only doing more covers.
No, he's doing it.
The joke we usually make is that there's been only 4 issues of Mechanica, or Lady Mechanica, but there's like 20 covers per issue.
Yeah, and he does a lot of variants for comic book conventions and stuff like that, and they're all gorgeous. I mean, not to knock them. Like,
they're really pretty.
Yeah.
But like, hey man, just write a new story.
And luckily, I think I'm guessing after he's probably heard that a couple times a couple years ago, but he got his ducks in a row, and it's becoming much more consistent.
I am educated,
and the quality's still good. No. If you still like steampunk comics, which I know I do. Did you know that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar just wrote a steampunk Sherlock Holmes story?
What?
Yeah,
of course he did.
Yeah,
it sounds like nonsense.
Not even joking.
I don't know if you can put together a more like crazy sentence.
I know. It's I haven't.
Were you just rolling dice?
I haven't felt compelled to pick it up and read it.
It sounds like a bad Family Guy cutaway joke.
Glenn Danzig wrote a voice to My Little Pony
this
episode.
Is worse than
CM Punk wrote a
time
Drax
Kareem
episode.
Abdul-Jabbar wrote a steampunk fantasy novel.
Yeah. Fish Guys.
Next time you're going to tell me CM Punk wrote a Drax issue. What?
Oh, he wrote a whole series.
That actually happened. Yeah, I've heard it was good.
Have you guys heard? Speaking of Invincible ending, Ryan Otley tweeted the other day like the completest worst nightmare. Someone tweeted to him saying, "Might be an odd question, but is there going to be any more Invincible Ultimate Libraries? I have the first 3, and I've been waiting for the next one." I get this question a lot, but no. Only trade paperbacks, ultimate hardcovers, the ones that we collect, and compendiums from here on out. No more of the big, beautiful hardcover special edition library ones.
That's a shame.
Which I only collect those for I only have those for Chew.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have it for the Sword.
Yeah.
Go read the Sword, by the way.
Nice.
So there's a topic that I wanted to get to, but I'm going to forgo that for now.
Right.
There's a what?
There's a topic that I was
okay.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about diamond distributors another time.
Sure.
Because there's research and things.
We'll get some more information on it. We'll revisit. Maybe even do some writing. Who knows?
Yeah.
Depending on how soon we want to revisit.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, check out the event. It is to help comics and more.
Again, we're really good at doing dated things. It's Wednesday now.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna get this up. I might throw the episode up tonight, with not a whole lot of description, just to get the episode out there. But,
Sure.
Go check it out while you can, and then if it's past the day, hit up Brett on the Facebooks, facebook.com/
BK Art Merc.
BK Art Merc.
Yep.
And be like, hey man, can I get a book?
Yep. I'm already working on a commission. I'm actually doing first come first serve for the books on scene, just because I don't want to do. Excuse me. Sorry. Blah blah blah. Words stuck in my throat. I want to do the first come first serve, so that means you'll have to get there early and get your books, just because it's the only fair way. I can't be a layaway service, unfortunately. So, and I feel like that's unfair to the people that do show up. So
yeah, there's a point where it's like, hey, can you hold this for me? Like it's a retail nightmare.
Yeah, tell me about it. Like the fine artist in me is like seething. I mean, because there's a lot. Like I have like about. Like I don't want to. Do I want to be a jerk and put a?
All right, so so you don't have to talk about it.
No, okay.
There's a picture that Brett made that someone asked Brett to do, and he did it, and it looks amazing. It was like a portrait. It's of a girl.
Gosh.
She looks beautiful, and the things Brett added to it, it's amazing. I love it, and it's been years.
I think it's I stopped giving and
it's like, hey, I've got the thing. Anytime I'm going to pay for it, we'll meet up. I'll travel to you. We'll just make the exchange, and he's heard nothing. So I don't want to make Brett complain about it. So I'm just going to talk about it for him. But enough of that situation, because a lot of other artists, like all the conventions we go to, and some artists prefer payment up front. Some will be like, oh, well, when you come back and you come to pick it up, you can pay for it.
Yeah.
There's some artists that like have, internal struggle about like, do I charge now or do I charge later?
Yeah.
And like, I need to guarantee that you're going to pay up for this thing. And like, if I make it, like, oh, I don't want it now. It's like, I could have been making money instead of you deciding you don't want the thing.
Yeah. I have multiple painted works as a fine artist that I've had so many, like, where I've had multiple people that are just like, I want that, hold it for me. And I'm like, all right, it's been 8 months now. Do you still want this? Well, just give me a couple more.
Oh, I had to pay for gas.
I need a little bit. Yeah,
that's it. Only gas.
Well, and I feel bad because like there are some people, and this is a generic. I'm not trying to like pick out any people or make anybody feel bad. It's just I understand it's the nature of the business, but. It's still frustrating to be like, yeah, can I sell this? I don't know, especially when it's a piece that everyone keeps wanting to buy. I'm sorry, Jerry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
I'm going to toot my own horn. No, I was trying to cut you off. Don't worry about it. I'm going to toot my own horn here. I'm really proud of myself for this one because I'm not perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I mentioned in the Rob Riggin episode, I've forgotten to give credit for stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I've made some mistakes. We, made fun of the Hobbit movie. For being 3 movies out of a book that was 150 pages long.
Oh.
And in the end, we were right. But people felt the need to correct us anyways.
All right.
I've made my mistakes. What one of those mistakes was not?
What was that?
I do know.
Brett Kelley one time posted an in-progress picture of a painting.
Oh.
And I said, Brett, I want that. So is this, if you don't mind, I would like to buy that. And it was, yeah, okay. We started to work out a price.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, like, Brett is a very generous man. I've been friends with Brett for 10 years now. Very good friends with Brett for probably 7 or 8 years.
That's fair.
And I didn't want a friend discount.
Yeah.
I was like, I want to pay what that is worth because it's beautiful, and you see into it. You're putting a lot of work into it. This is a painting. This is like it's on canvas.
Yep.
I've talked about it before. But like, and I was conflicted because like you were like, well, what do you think? And I was like, Brett, it doesn't matter what I think. Just give me a fucking price. And then I was like, you quoted me a very, very, very generous price. To which my reply was, I refuse to pay less than X.
Yeah, that's how that went.
I recall that.
And then we came to an agreement and.
Hashtag tough love.
It was like a gentleman's agreement.
Yeah.
And you showed up with painting and I showed up with cash.
Yep.
And then we exchanged those things. And now I have painting and you had cash.
Yeah. I mean, and once again,
it's really easy.
That's how it goes.
Yeah. And this is one of those things where every artist can attest to, and it happens. It's one of those things where, like, where's the line in the sand? Where do you completely understand that life happens, circumstances happen, things can't be afforded? That's completely understood. But then where do you draw the line of that where it's no longer, like, is it still really yours after it's been like a year? Like, it's still in my house and I'm still don't...
You know, are you in the right to resell it if someone wanted,
right.
you know?
Well, exactly. And there's your catch-22 too, because you don't want to be the jerk that's like, oh yeah, the thing that I said, well, it looks like somebody offered to pay more for it, so sorry. You know, that type of deal.
I mean, I feel like if you let this person know, hello, hey, I still have the thing that you wanted. Mm-hmm. It is still available. Otherwise, you know, if I don't get a response, if you say no, if you decide that you don't, I'm going to sell it to someone else.
Yeah,
it's that simple.
Yeah, exactly.
You had your chance. I gave you, more than enough time.
Yeah,
pay up, or I'm getting it from someone else.
Or actually, and this is where over the years, like in the last year or so, I've developed a much better, my industrious mind, as I've said, by running from Jake Parker. But the voice in the back of my head goes, or I could probably just make prints and then just sell those. That'd be a lot easier. Problem solved on that one. So
that's a pretty good idea.
I know. Right? Yep, exactly.
So when someone says, I want that, and like you see the price, if they cry, be like, well, here's the other option.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So, yeah. So I just hullabalooed about a whole bunch of stuff and then solved it like that. Hashtag Brett Kelley. Why am I hashtagging so much? It's weird.
Don't worry about it.
I'm calling myself out on that.
We're actually going to start hashtagging Brett Kelley now.
No, don't. Please don't.
I wanted to say more about this coloring book.
Yeah? Neat.
Yeah. Because, like, I wanted to make a dumb joke, but I don't want to be dumb.
No, you go
about
right
this
ahead.
thing that you put so much work into.
Don't even worry about it.
This guy with the hash marks above his eyes.
Yes.
I want to be like, what are those for? How many pies you could eat?
Yes.
No, I'm sure it's something amazing.
Yes.
Because he looks like a complete badass.
Yay.
And I get the sense that like that they're in this bar.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I was tapping two different pages here because there's like a sign. It's like, oh, you can tell it's a bar, and then the other one is like, these people look like they're in a rough bar. They're not going to be messed with.
That is the Bronze Sprocket. That is the bar that is the first location that you can see when you exit Skyport Harbor, which lies atop Clockwork Tower, which is the central building in Clockwork Tropolis. It is a place where seafaring folk or airfaring folk, as steampunk as airship enthusiasts go.
And then I see this page, and there's a woman, and she has like some fairy creatures. And judging by the device on her belt, it looks like they're her pets because she can just like put them in that little jar, and they're hers now.
Yeah.
And they resemble like those the anatomy wooden figure
yes,
things.
Yeah, the little drawing mannequins.
Right. So now, what you've just made, you drew a thing that a person could actually use as a toy.
Yeah.
They could be like, I don't have an anatomy drawing thing. I have one of Brett's fairies from his Steampunk book.
I did not think of it in that perspective, but thank you for giving me a brand new project to work on. It's actually Faymaker May. That's a really fun character. Actually, even the better part about this, and I think I don't know if I've teased this to you guys.
I want to see people like actually show up with like they've made these into their own fairies now, and bring them to you. I can think of two people that are going to do that now that I've said it.
I will tease this and only this because it's not that big a deal. But Clockwork Tropolis, as you've heard me describe, you can tell that it is a place that of my own creation that I have a pretty good handle on, and there's enough. I think there's enough in there that I've illustrated, and there's enough potential story in there that I would like to use that as a platform to create something else. To what end, I will leave that open ended for now. Because that's just going to be a whole lot more work that I need to put into, and I don't want to get ahead of myself. But know that the Tales of Clockwork Tropolis is not a singular thing, and is part of an extended universe, and it might be used for something else.
Are these two things friends or are they enemies?
Oh, one of them is mechanical.
Yeah,
because
I can tell.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that they are friends.
Okay, huh?
No. Like one of them's the gentleman is part of the business district. He's the mechanical animals are a little bit more pricey. They're more of a status symbol in the city.
Okay.
Yep. And
Mechanimals?
Yeah, Mechanimals.
Because I see like two similar things, and I was like, do they know each other? Are they enemies? And it's like, no, Alex, they're just pets. Relax.
No, so that there are some indications in there. And there's like, I'm actually really glad because that's why I wanted to show them to you guys too, because I know you guys can apply a lot of. There is sort of like an implied tour happening throughout the course of the pages, and JR picked up on it, which made me super happy. It made me go, oh, okay, good. It wasn't just, it actually reads that way. Thank goodness.
I am pretty smart, so.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that was never a question.
I like how there's no border on this one.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
he's radical.
I'm talking about pictures, and like no one can see what I'm talking about.
I can whack the mic with the book again.
Kind of.
You guys need.
Yeah. Sorry to everybody. This is being a horrible, like torturing you guys.
This just means they're going to have to pick up the book somehow, and they're not going to find it themselves to see what we're talking about.
Very true.
And then they could take the tour with me.
Yeah.
As they look at the book, as I talk about it. Without a frame around this image, that means they could. Whoever's coloring it could make whatever background they want.
Yeah, absolutely.
They could draw in their own background.
I'm conflicted because I know I need to get the episode up.
I'm thinking Tailspin.
But I know
Kick Cloud Kicker. Yeah, but it's not that. But
okay.
Yeah,
but I know I have a brand new set of colored pencils at home that I haven't opened yet.
Awesome.
But
yeah, it's good.
Do you have? I don't want to.
No, that's
I'm going
to
challenge you on this one.
Go for it.
Do you have like a hashtag planned or anything for people that color these in to send back to you?
I would probably say throw it in the hashtag Tales of Clockwork Tropolis. I mean, it's a heck of a long hashtag, and I apologize for that. But that would probably, or just hashtag Clockwork Tropolis, or if you just want a hashtag BK Artmark or something like that, that would be awesome. But once again,
I was thinking of like I colored my blah 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 blah.
Yeah,
that's a whole sentence that we don't need to get into.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I mean, I know that, and once again, I am beginning to ship these out to those 78 lovely backers. I am working on getting those shipped out because they just came in, literally fresh from the presses. So in the next couple weeks, they will be. I will begin shipping them out or delivering them because Saturday it's about half of the people, like 78 people. Half the people are people that I would consider local, like Massachusetts, Connecticut, people that I know personally. The other half are people from all over the country and other countries on top of that.
Even though you said not to.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened, but hey, I appreciate it. I even got a complaint from somebody from Australia. They were like, "Hey, man, sorry you can't ship it to Australia." And I'm like, "I'm really sorry. I just don't want. I feel guilty trying to charge someone $30 to send them something doesn't even cost $30.
If they want it,
I know.
With all eBay I do, if they're gonna pay for it, they're gonna pay for it.
I know. Yep, it's valid. But I mean, I was very flattered, and I'm sorry that it didn't work out that way. But now that I know that there's because really this was a test run, which is why it's kind of a little bit of it evolved the way it did because I threw it up there just being like, I'll put it up there, maybe I might break whatever, and then I found out there's a lot more people that like this than I anticipated. So thank goodness.
That's what's up.
Yeah. So yeah,
Brett, congratulations.
Thank you very much, you guys.
I'm very excited to have my going into Kickstarter and clicking got it. that was very satisfying. I like doing that.
Oh, I guess I should do that too.
Yep.
Cool deal.
I'm very happy, very proud of my friend.
Well, yeah.
But thanks for coming on. I hope Saturday is amazing.
Thank you.
Go and support local comic shops, local artists, and buy comic books.
Yeah. Just have a good old time out on Saturday.
Exactly.
In the heart of Pioneer Valley, Massachusetts.
Before the weather gets too unbearably cold.
Yeah, too unspoopy.
Exactly. Yeah. We're already getting there.
I know.
I'm already fighting putting up my Christmas decorations.
Ugh.
I'm dying to.
Oh, that's right.
I know.
I'm going to put up Halloween decorations now.
For next time.
I'm never going to take mine down.
Right?
Fair. Brett, thank you again.
No, thank you, you guys, and thank you for backing the project, and thank you for bringing me on. And I do enjoy so much talking to you guys about stuff that has nothing to do with me, because I get really awkward talking about myself at length like this, as I'm sure you guys have more than well known, especially anyone who's been listening to the episode. I'm allergic to positivity, so thanks for overdosing me. Appreciate it. But yeah, thanks so much for everything, truly, and can't wait to see you guys later. And see you on Saturday. See you on Saturday.
Well, I'm going to see you on Friday.
That's right. See you on Friday too.
I get to see Brett and Alex on Friday.
That's true.
So.
Well, if I show up,
all of the games, all the games. Gonna break in that Joking Hazard.
Break in Joking Hazard. Finally get to play Secret Hitler.
Yeah.
Which is more accurate. I get. I don't know, but
House on Haunted Hill. We got
House
on
the Hill.
Yep.
The new expansion. I need to buy that. But I bought Pandemic. I bought Batman Flux finally.
I bought Scuttle.
You got Scuttle. Make sure to bring that.
Nice.
What else are we playing? I do have Cards Against Humanity. I haven't played that actually in a couple years, so that might be funny again. I mean, since because I really enjoy supporting them, so I buy I buy the expansions and I buy a lot of the boosters and some things that I've bought from them includes Cards Against Humanity cards.
I think the last time I played with you guys was in the parking lot of Packard's.
After D&D, yeah.
In the parking lot?
Yeah. Remember that?
Yeah, I found the
what game?
Cards Against Humanity.
No, I wasn't there for that.
Yeah, you were. I have a video of you.
In the parking lot?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Parking lot of Packard's.
Mm-hmm.
From Joe's trunk.
We were just in our hand in the trunk.
We were listening to Adam Warrock.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow, that was that long ago?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. What else do I have? One Hit Kill.
Are you inviting all of our listeners to play games?
No, this is exclusive. You cannot come unless you've been invited.
But you're more than welcome to play these games that we have mentioned. For the record, One Hit Kill. I backed One Hit Kill because Max Temkin retweeted. He's like, "Hey, this is really cool." It's by John August, who writes. I think he wrote Big Fish. Okay.
And,
wow.
He's written a couple movies, and he did. He had a really successful Kickstarter with coming up with ideas for writing and stuff like that. It was a deck of cards that helps you come up with ideas.
Nice.
And then he made a game called One Hit Kill. It's just it's a simple card game, very very basic and very well done. It was a very well run Kickstarter. Just very here's the prototypes. Here's this. Okay, it's shipping. Here you go. And there was some for sale on Amazon for a little while. And it's this one game that I really like. And I always think that when I show it to my friends, I'm like, they're going to think this is boring, but I dig it. And everyone I've played it with goes, yo, can we play that game again?
Yeah.
And normally we'll finish a round and it's, okay, so one more? And it's one of those really refreshing things that I dig this and other people also dig it.
Well, I mean, when you don't cheat, you don't have to play more than one game. So
when you don't cheat?
Yeah.
I misunderstood the rules.
I just saw you dodge that umbrella because Alex was throwing some shade.
That's the Bill Belichick explanation from South Park. When you get caught cheating, you just say, I misinterpreted the rules, and then you can get away with it. But for the record, I did misinterpret the rules. The transmute was a little ambiguous, but now I got it.
It's pretty simple.
It's very straightforward. And I did not read it correctly. I got so excited I was going to win, but I didn't win. But we also have Slap 45. That should be fun.
Slap 45, yeah.
Have you played that yet, Brett?
I think I played it with you guys,
We played at the restaurant.
Was that D&D?
We did.
Yeah.
I got super cranky because I was being cranky.
It happens. It's an intense game.
I got over it, though, pretty quick, I think.
What else are we playing?
That was a fun game. Damn it, that was a fun game.
Villa wants to bring a bunch of games.
I know. And I got the Imploding Kittens expansion.
Nice.
Complete with Cone of Shame. I'm pretty excited.
I expect everyone to be taking notes at this point. Just furiously writing them down.
The FU one? What's the...
Cluster?
Cluster, yeah. Go cluster F
yourself.
yourself.
Clusterfuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, when they gave it to us, they told us to go clusterfuck ourselves. I like that game a lot. It's kind of a... We played it the one time, but it's a game about hooking up, and you pass silly notes to people, and you got that game was funny as hell.
If you're, man,
I do still have that though.
The nonverbal comedy in that alone is so good.
Yep. Okay, we got to end. Brett,
okay,
congratulations.
Thank you.
I'll see you hopefully many times this weekend.
Heck yeah. I'm stoked.
This is a lot of fun. Cool episodes coming up. Okay, awesome. Until next week, I'm JR.
I'm Alex.
And I am Brett Kelley.
And this has been episode 243 of Opinions May Vary.